I'm recording this because I'm afraid that if I blink, I'll lose my spot in reality. Have you ever felt a gaze so heavy it physically chills your skin? For 3 weeks, I've been playing a game of red light, green light with something that lives in the abandoned house across the street. A house with no power. A house that has been dead for 30 years. I thought it was a squatter. I thought it was a prank. But last night, I realized the terrifying truth. It doesn't move when the world moves. It only moves when I stop looking at it. And as I sit here in the dark, I can feel it. It's waiting for me to close my eyes just one more time. Before I tell you about the night the waving started, I need to ask you something. Look around your room right now. Is there a window behind you? A mirror? Have you ever felt like your reflection took just a fraction of a second too long to follow your movement? Tell me your most unsettling glitch stories in the comments. I need to know I'm not the only one seeing these things. Now, let's talk about number 42. The house across the street is a skeletal remain of the 1990s, while the rest of our suburb is filled with manicured lawns and Ring doorbells. Number 42 is an island of decay. The gray wood is peeling like dead skin. The windows are coated in a layer of dust so thick you can't see the glass, only the darkness behind it. I work from home as a data analyst. My desk sits right in front of the bay window. It's a peaceful view, usually, but 3 weeks ago, during a thunderstorm that turned the sky a bruised purple, I saw it for the first time. In the upper left window, a pale, narrow shape was pressed against the glass. It wasn't a curtain. It was too solid. It looked like the side of a face, colorless, waxen, and perfectly still. I stared at it for an hour. My coffee went cold. My legs went numb. It never moved, not even when the lightning flashed directly behind the house. It was just there. Days passed. I tried to be rational. It's a mannequin, I told myself. Some teenagers put it there to freak out the neighbors. But on Monday, the shape was gone from the upper window. It was in the kitchen window on the ground floor. My blood ran cold. That house is a fortress of rust. The front door has a heavy-duty padlock that hasn't been touched in decades. The basement windows are reinforced with iron bars. There is no way for a person to move through that house without breaking something. I decided to test it. I set up my professional camera on a tripod. I started a 24-hour recording. I sat at my desk and stared. For 6 hours, I didn't take my eyes off that window. The figure stayed frozen, a tall, shadowy silhouette with its head tilted at an impossible angle. Eventually, nature called. I stepped away for exactly 60 seconds to go to the bathroom. When I came back and reviewed the footage, I nearly vomited. On the screen, the moment the door to my office closed, the figure in the window didn't just move, it lunged. It slammed its hands against the glass, and its mouth, a dark, hollow pit, opened wide. And then it started to wave, a slow, mechanical back and forth motion. The very second the camera caught the sound of my footsteps returning, it snapped back into its frozen, tilted pose. It wasn't reacting to light, it was reacting to observation.
Last night was the breaking point. The power went out across the entire block. No streetlights, no Wi-Fi, just me, a flashlight, and the moon. I realized I couldn't trust my direct line of sight anymore. I grabbed a large vanity mirror from my bedroom and propped it up on my desk. I sat with my back to the window, facing the wall, watching the reflection of the abandoned house in the mirror. In the mirror, the house looked different. It looked occupied. There were faint ghostly flickers of candlelight in every room, and the figure, it wasn't in the window anymore. I looked at the wall in front of me, then slowly cut my eyes toward the mirror. In the reflection, I saw the front door of number 42 slowly creak open. A hand, gray, elongated, with too many knuckles, reached out and gripped the doorframe. I stayed perfectly still. I didn't turn around. I knew that if I turned my head to look at the house directly, the physics of the entity would force it to be still again. I wanted to see where it went when it thought no one was watching. In the mirror, the figure crawled out of the house. It moved like an insect, skittering across the pavement of the street, heading straight for my driveway. It stopped at my front door. I heard a soft thud from downstairs. My heart was beating so hard I thought my ribs would crack. I kept my eyes glued to that mirror. I saw the figure disappear from my porch. A moment later, I saw the door to my own office, the one behind me, slowly begin to turn in the reflection of the mirror.
I didn't scream. I couldn't. I watched in the mirror as the door opened a crack. A pale, waxen face peered in. It looked exactly like the mannequin from the window. I realized then, it can only move when it isn't being observed by a living eye. I reached for my flashlight and whipped around, shining the beam directly at the door. Snap! The figure froze instantly. It was standing in the middle of my office, one foot lifted in midair, frozen like a statue. Its face was inches from mine. It smelled like old paper and wet earth. I haven't moved since. That was 4 hours ago. I am staring at it. My eyes are burning. They are red and watering, and every time I feel a blink coming, I use my fingers to pry my eyelids open, because I know the moment I blink, that foot is going to land. The moment I look away to find my phone, those long fingers are going to reach for my throat. The sun is coming up, but it doesn't help. It just makes the details of its skin clearer. It doesn't have pores. It doesn't have a pulse. And the worst part? My phone just buzzed with a notification. My security camera out front just captured movement. I looked down at the screen for a split second, just a fraction of a second, and when I looked back up, the figure is still there. It's still frozen, but it's no longer at the door. It's sitting in the chair right next to me, and its hand is raised, frozen in the middle of a wave. I have to blink eventually. When I do, who do you think will be telling the story in the next video? Me or the thing in the window?